Is the Chinese tech crackdown coming to an end? This is what I will be talking about in this video. But before I get into this topic, today I'm kind of on a streak and this is, I guess, my 5th video that I'm putting out there. So let me ask you to subscribe to this channel, hit the notification button so you get a notification whenever I post a new video. And this is not because I want more subscribers or anything like that, but whenever I make such many videos, you may actually miss out. And I'm actually seeing in the backend, in the analytics numbers, that only a handful of people have actually done so. So please do that. It's good for you. In a way, also good for me. Now back into the topic. What you're seeing here is my tweet about the Kuaishou earnings and numbers that came out today. And Kuaishou actually is a provider for video streaming, and let's have a deeper look here. The platform posted the following results. Fourth quarter revenue was 24.4 billion yuan, while 23 was forecast, so that is a beat. The full year revenue was at 81 billion, forecast only 80 billion, so another beat. The net loss was at 3.5 billion yuan, and the forecast was a higher loss actually of almost 4 billion. So that is another beat on the bottom line. And also for the full year, 78 billion yuan of a net loss. And the average monthly active users was at 578 million, while there was a forecast of 562 million. And so this is the company, or one of the companies, that is really at the heart of the technology crackdowns in China, right? Because video streaming has been vastly limited in the way of what they can do. And so the question is, like, when those kind of policies don't really show up in the bottom line of the business, and like Kuaishou is actually beating the expectations here, then are we near the end of the so-called tech crackdown? Well, I think we cannot really say that, because if we look at other players in this industry, for example, BILI, the shares were down pretty much around March the 3rd, when they posted their results, because those company results were actually not as good as the analysts were actually forecasting it. So we cannot say that this is an industry-wide phenomena with Kuaishou today. But for me, this is an important indicator to watch, because of course also for Xunlei, XNET, which has those companies as a customer, for example, BILI is one of the customers, then Kuaishou here is one of the customers of Xunlei, and also iQIYI, which is partly owned by Baidu, is also a video streaming platform, which is also a customer for Xunlei, and basically the internet acceleration and CDN network services that they are supplying. So this is actually a good way of investing into kind of the back end of these companies. And by the way, if we look in the Xunlei earnings, which also reported Q4 and the full year, we can actually also see that they had a year-over-year increase and growth of 52% in their cloud computing and internet value-added revenues. And that's also pointing to the fact that generally it seems there is still a large demand for video streaming services in China. So back to the initial question, and I was posting this already in my Patreon: is the tech crackdown over? No, not really. So as posted earlier, Liu He, who is the number 2 in China, mentioned in his statement before that this kind of crackdown, however you call it, regulation of these platforms, needs to go on, but the rectification work needs to be done faster and through a standardized and transparent and predictable supervision and progress. And interestingly, we already had another signal regarding how Beijing is going to handle this in the future yesterday, that the Tencent and Alibaba-backed industrial products and e-commerce platform ZKH gets the Beijing's nod for a US IPO. So kind of the second company that I now can report on that will do a US IPO, whereas most people in the media have actually been writing that there won't be any Chinese companies going to the US anymore. But this is already the second one, and this time, interestingly, getting the okay from the China Securities Regulator Commission, the CSRC. So that's exactly the way that the regulators have proposed, that there should be the go and okay by the regulators, and then they can go and do the IPO, very much in contrast to Didi, which just went ahead despite the warnings. And so it seems we are getting more and more into a new reality in which, no, the tech crackdowns are not going away, but I think there's less fear now around like what are the regulators trying to do, and people see that business and life is going on. And the question remains like how much of these crackdowns and the negative intent actually was really there from the beginning, or how much was actually being blown up by the media. For example, also if we compare this with what is just imposed here by EU lawmakers, which have agreed that the largest messaging services like WhatsApp, Facebook Messengers or iMessage will have to open up and interoperate with smaller messages platforms. Users of small or big platforms would then be able to exchange messages and send files or make video calls across messaging apps. So can you imagine what would have happened if China would have released such news? And in fact, they have done so in terms of what is opening up the e-commerce system in China between Alibaba and Tencent. But have we seen a similar outcry around Europe? No, we haven't. And I think that is mostly because we don't trust China, we don't understand China, and of course, because this is also a good publicity for the media and it generates clicks. And so, yeah, they really like to jump on these kind of topics. So anyways, that's it. Thank you guys for watching and see you in the next one.